How's it going, everybody? My name is Absoulem, and welcome to the Box Addict Round by Round Dark Ops Challenge Guide. The challenge is going to test your patience because we have to pull every weapon as well as 4 score streaks out of the mystery box in one game. Now, because this is less of a strategy-based challenge and more of a headache, I'm going to spend less time on the challenge itself and more time on getting you set up faster, how to make this easier, and all the information that you need in order to pop this challenge. First things first, let's go over the loadout and the augments. So we want to put a gun that we don't want to actually survive with. Just pick any random gun other than the one you want to use for the challenge. That's because whichever gun we bring into the game will not be in the box until we get rid of it. So we're going to be getting rid of it pretty quickly in this challenge. For me, I picked a Jakal. It's a Jakal. It's a Jakal. But it can be any random gun, so it doesn't really matter. But what does matter is that you set a zombie build for the gun that you do want to survive with. I'd also recommend that it's a wall weapon. That way you can guarantee it early on. And oh, what do you know? It's the ASG-89. Wow. I know, shocker, but go ahead and set the zombie build. It's the button at the bottom you'll see, but it's usually the ADS button on whichever platform. That way we keep all of our attachments and more importantly camos and stickers when we buy it off the wall or get it out of the mystery box. So once you've set your weapon build and you've picked a gun to load in with, the rest of the loadout is up to you. I also want to mention that the double points can help speed this up, so if you have those, throw them on there. And more importantly, the Wonder Bar Gobble Gun will guarantee a Wonder Weapon out of the mystery box, so you can use that as a contingency plan if you're just not pulling the Wonder Weapons at all, and that way you at least can guarantee one of the Wonder Weapons. Now, the last thing to mention is the Augment Speedy Roulette for Speed Cola. That allows the mystery box to settle just a little bit faster, making this already incredibly long challenge just a little bit easier. So with all that out of the way, let's load up into the game. I'm going into Liberty Falls. This can be done on Terminus or Liberty. It can be done in standard or directed mode. So I'm going to be directed on Liberty. So I'll see you in game as we get this challenge going. Alright, what's going on, you bunch of silly gooses? Welcome to the Round by Round Dark Ops Challenge Guide for Box Addict, where we have to pull every weapon as well as 4 score streaks out of the mystery box all in one game. Now, you know the drill. I'm going to take you from round 1 until we pop the calling card, showing you tips and tricks, as well as how to make this go a little bit faster. But if you're looking for a complete list in order to help track this in your game, I have all the weapons you need and everything you need to get for this calling card in the pinned comment below. So check that out if you need a list for all the guns. This challenge is going to take you quite a while, probably 2 or 3 hours. It's something that you just have to plan for because this doesn't seem to be tracking for save files. Seems like we have to do this all in one go. So just set aside enough time, like maybe 3 or 4 hours, to get this challenge done. That way you don't have to come back and redo it. I have heard reports that it works if your game crashes and you're able to load back in. It does seem to work that way, but just not at the moment with save files as far as I'm aware. But just to be safe, just do it all in one go. Now, with all that out of the way, there's only a couple more things I want to clear up. One, the Wonder Weapons, you do not have to craft them for them to be in the box, and if you craft it, it still doesn't count as a box weapon. Every gun that tracks has to come out of the mystery box. Your loadout weapon, everything, none of it tracks unless it comes out of the mystery box. So hopefully that clears that up. You can do this in directed and in standard, and wall weapons, guns that drop out of the NPCs on Terminus, none of that tracks. It has to come out of the mystery box. So with all that out of the way, I'm going to get to about round 4 or 5, get enough points to actually buy our wall weapon so we can get our survival weapon. We'll make our way over to the mystery box and replace our loadout weapon so it actually spawns in the box, and we will pick up at that point. Alright, so our first step when we get about round 5 or so, just have enough money, maybe 5,000 or 6,000, we're going to come over here and buy our ASG. This is the weapon I had elected to survive with, so this will just be our gun that we upgrade in order to like just survive basically. So I'm going to buy it. Sometimes it'll freeze the game when you buy your weapon build gun off the wall, so if it does freeze, just give it like 2 or 3 seconds. It should be fine and it won't matter too much, but sometimes it's a little scary when the game freezes. You're like, oh no. But once you have your wall weapon or whichever one you're choosing, I chose the ASG, that way we have our build. We will come over here to the mystery box, wherever the mystery box is for you, and we will buy our first weapon. This is going to be to replace our loadout weapon because at this point, once we trade in our loadout weapon, it will actually allow it to spawn inside the mystery box. So we need to get rid of our loadout weapon. Alright, so I got the AK-74, and now we are ready to start just building up points to get our ASG leveled up, buy some perks, basically get everything we need in order to survive, and then once we are set up, we will then start chipping away at the mystery box. Alright, so if you're on standard mode, on round 10 you could start the Raining Zombies Easter egg by blowing up that skull up there, and get the free blue wrench and then upgrade your gun. But since we're on directed mode, all fun is taken away from us and side Easter eggs are disabled. So we're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way. So at round 10, you want to pack-a-punch your gun And whatever you do, do not interact with this machine. We're not going to figure out how to do the Easter egg for a little while now, and that will lock our game at round 11 permanently for the time being. So just don't interact with that machine. So now at this point, we want to get to the end of round 11, and we will start buying perks. We will upgrade our gun and get all the salvage towards our gun, and I will tune in once I have that stuff. Okay, so I'm at the end of round 11, and the good news on guided mode, we have all the perks immediately, so get all the perks you want, and I've got pack 1, I've got cryo freeze on my gun, and it's at blue rarities. So at this point, we are pretty much set up, and we don't need to upgrade too much further as we're going to permanently lock the round. So now I want to give you a couple options. Option 1 is to set up a really convenient glitch spot to kind of breeze through the rounds. And option 2 would be to continue on pressing with the Easter egg in order to get it to cap at round 15, which I will do later on no matter what. But that'll give you more zombies, more points, and everything. But what I like to do is essentially get this glitch spot set up, which is not even really a glitch, it's just knowing how to play the game, I guess. But we're going to set that up, go on round 11 for a handful of times before even touching the Easter egg, get a decent amount of points saved up, and then once we have like everything upgraded, I'll then progress the Easter egg to cap at round 15, and then we will go back to our little spot to continue farming points, and then in between each round we'll go hit the box. So that's what I recommend, but you could either just work on the Easter egg now to get it to round 15 and then do this glitch spot, or you can do it now like I was saying. So here's what we need to do. Come to the roof after you're all set up, drop down, and then you'll notice right here you can buy the door. So now that we've bought the door, what does that mean? Well, we want to leave the banked doors closed, but since we were able to buy the door through the roof, we can just enter the bank. And as you'll see, our door is closed, and our other door is closed. And so now what's going to happen is that all these zombies are going to just, you know, be kind to us. They're going to get in a single file line, and they're going to start walking down this counter. So we're just going to sit right here if you want. And whoops. What the hell? Okay. We're going to sit right here. All the zombies will just jump up on the counter, and I'll show you what that looks like right now. And this is just a great spot to sit here in AFK, essentially. But make sure you're moving. You don't want to get kicked from the game. Alright, so as you can see, these zombies are just nice and in a single file line here for us, allowing us to just farm headshots. This is a great tool to farm camos at this point, too, so it's not just this challenge. But this will let us breeze through the rounds much faster, and as you can see, I don't really have to worry about anything behind me or anything like that, so this will be a good spot to sit. Now, if this gets patched in the near future, which I do imagine it will, that's fine, because we're in guided mode. You can just go to your favorite camp spot, or the church is my favorite, and you just, you know, camp out wherever you want. I just run circles in the church, and that works just well. So because we're round capping, it's not too stressful to have to survive somewhere, but this is just the fastest way at the moment. So yeah, at this point, I'm just going to start building up points. I'm going to get the remainder of my setup, like pack 2, and at that point, we will just start hoarding all of our money to put it towards the box. Alright, so at this point I've progressed probably 5 or 6 rounds until I had all my perks that I wanted to help me get around the map faster and whatnot and survive, and I've double packed. I've got my gun to purple. So at this point, even if at round 15, if I progress it, I will have a good enough loadout to just survive easily. So I'm done leveling up. Now all of our money is going towards the box. So at this point, whenever you're ready, if you want, you have to decide if you want to sit at round 11 permanently and just farm points indefinitely, or personally, I like to progress the Easter egg until it caps at round 15, which makes you build the jet gun and the LTG and stuff. I like to just get that out of the way so I get more zombies, and it tends to be a little bit faster for me to build points. You know, it requires a little bit extra steps, but you'll build up points faster, and you know, you'll also be able to work on elite kills, stuff like that for different challenges if you want. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to show the steps for the Easter egg, as most of you probably already know. Also, we're in guided mode, so it's going to tell you what to do anyways. But if you do need a guide for the jet gun and stuff, I do have it on my channel. You could easily find it. But essentially, we're just going to follow the steps along until it caps at round 15. So I will pick up when I get to that point. Alright, so I have finished the Easter egg, and it's just stuck at the last step, so make sure you don't interact with that, otherwise you're going to be doing the boss fight. So when you get to the end of the LTG steps and all, and you kill both the elites, and you return the canisters, now you are where I'm at, and once you reach round 15, it will be permanently stuck on 15. So at this point, our only step is to just build a metric fuck ton of points and sit here. So I've returned to our little spot here. If this gets patched later on, then, you know, just go to wherever you feel comfortable. Personally, I like the church. It seems to be the best option for me, but just go wherever you're comfortable and start building up points. And so at this point, I want to showcase every gun you need as quickly as I can so that you guys can see and reference everything that I had to pull. So I will just have a montage, essentially, of all the guns going on right now.
What's in the box? What's in the fucking box?
And when you finally finish your training montage in your game, you will pop the Box Addict Dark Ops calling card. And lucky for me, I actually got the Dark Ops Mastery card. Now this challenge isn't too bad, it didn't take too long, I'll go over the statistics in just a moment, but I do have one last piece of advice for this strategy that I think will help you out. Now there is one more part of this strategy that I think I should mention, which is, you know, you have your survival gun. The ASG in my case was what I was using, but at a certain point we'll start building up points and everything, we have all of our perks, and we want to trade it out for something better, which would be the ray gun and the jet gun. So essentially I had my ASG, and as I started hitting the box, and as soon as I got a ray gun, well then I had a ray gun as my secondary, and then when I got the jet gun I finally replaced the ASG. But that will make the spawn rate, at least in my experience, the spawn rate of the ASG go up, as opposed to us holding it in our inventory and waiting to pull it. So only replace your survival gun that's all leveled up and pack-a-punched and all that with the wonder weapons, as that will be enough to keep you alive, and you won't need to pack-a-punch those or anything like that. So that will up the rate. I think you should replace them at a certain point. Also, as a bonus, you can work on the Alchemist calling card while you're building up points, which would be to throw a shock charge and then use your jet gun's explosive bullet to kill all the enemies. So like you can work on stuff as you're building up points for this, but I definitely think you should trade in your survival gun at some point in order to have a higher odds of pulling it. But once you've popped it, then you'll be all set here. I tracked how long it took. It took about an hour maybe. For me, I got lucky, I think, but I think it was because I stacked so many points. I was able to just do it all in like a few rounds. In terms of the amount of points it took me, it was just over 100,000, so it's not too bad. You know, I just power leveled the points and then just went and ran location to location. So the chopper gunner was the last thing I unlocked personally. It seems like the Scorestreaks are going to be the most rare, the wonder weapons being the next rare, and then you'll get like the normal guns pretty quick, honestly. So hopefully you get it. Good luck with it. It's not too bad, honestly. It's relatively manageable. Like I said, 100,000 points, and you should be pretty close at that point. So just you know, refer to the list in the comments. The pinned comment has the full list. You can write it down, take a screenshot, whatever, and just check them off as you go so you know what you got, and you will get it relatively quick, maybe an hour or two, something like that. So I think all in all it takes about 2.5 hours to fully set up, get all the money, and pop the calling cards. So alright, but that is going to wrap up the guide for the Box Addict Dark Ops calling card. I hope that this guide helps you, and you know, it doesn't take too long to get it. It's relatively easy, and it just requires some patience. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys want to see another Dark Ops, I'm going to be continuing, so just let me know which ones you want to see next, and or any challenge or trophies. After I finish all the Dark Ops, I will continue to make guides for this mode here, so you know, stay tuned. Got a lot more planned in the near future. We're almost at 10,000, which is actually insane to me. That was my original goal when I started my channel all those years ago. So I really appreciate all the support lately, and yeah, I will see you in the next video, so have a good one.